Hey guys, it's Rodimus Primal. I am back with another video, and today, if you couldn't tell by my t-shirt, I'm going to be talking about Batman. And that is The Batman, the movie that is going to be coming out next year. It's going to be directed by Matt Reeves, and a possibility that they have cast their frontrunner, at least, for Batman himself. And it's also a possibility that we might know who the villains are, but we'll see. So I've got a lot to talk about with this, so sit back, relax, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and let's transform and roll out. Alright, to many of you, I'm sure Batman is probably a part of everything you love about pop culture. He's one of many people's favorite superheroes, and he's been around for so long that it's like him and Superman are like just like part of our society in so many ways. And Batman's been around since the late 1930s. He's had movies, he's had TV shows, he's had, cartoons, cartoon after cartoon, TV, everything under the sun. And so many people have played Batman that you are hoping that they're able to get the character right in this next movie. And it looks like they're trying to. I know the internet is like ablaze right now because they were going to be angry about whoever the choice was. I don't think that there was going to ever be a set in stone, like everybody's going to agree upon who the casting choice for Batman is. And really it's a matter of them finding somebody who can play the part that they want to play. And I'm really curious about this. So I'm going to bring up who the frontrunners are. And so right here you can see Robert Pattinson is set to play the Batman for Matt Reeves and Warner Brothers. And if he is the frontrunner, I can totally understand that. I know some people don't like Twilight. I'm one of them. I am not a big fan of Twilight. It is a guilty pleasure for my wife. She loves Twilight. But I think as far as an actor is concerned, he's probably grown since that role because he was really young. It was like at least, 10 years ago? And he's like 31, 30, or 33 or somewhere around there. So he's young enough to play the part, but he's, and he looks the part. What I'm hoping is that he can play a good Bruce Wayne and a good Batman. They really are two separate characters. It's something that almost every single actor who has played Batman has had a hard time with. Adam West played a good let's go chum Batman with this like old man Bruce Wayne. And then you had, and don't get me wrong, I loved Adam West Batman, but it's just kind of like how he played the character. Michael Keaton was a fantastic Batman. I think he was an okay Bruce Wayne. I think Val Kilmer was just trying to emulate Michael Keaton, and I think George Clooney was a great Bruce Wayne because that's his lifestyle, and he was a terrible Batman. He knows he was a terrible Batman. George Clooney has gone on record to say he was a terrible Batman. And then you have Christian Bale. So many of you have grown up with Christian Bale. And Christian Bale has been able to play a good Batman as far as like the realistic Nolan sense. And I almost feel like Bruce Wayne himself was secondary. And that I didn't really care for. I wanted a little bit more Bruce Wayne out of that. And Kevin Conroy has done Batman as far as a voice is concerned. To some people, he's like Optimus Prime, Peter Cullen. Kevin Conroy, Batman. Like, that's just kind of like who Kevin Conroy is. And I would say the same thing for Mark Hamill doing the Joker. That's something that Batman in the animated series did, was that it kind of set a precedent for what the voice should sound like. And I'm hoping that somebody can actually pull that off, whomever they choose. And it looks like we've got three people. Like I said, I got Robert Pattinson up here. The other person that they said that they're doing so, they said they're putting Robert Pattinson through a rigorous casting process, but the other two who are in the running are Nicholas Hoult and Aaron Taylor Johnson. Now, Nicholas Hoult, you know who he is. Of course, we've seen him in a lot of movies. He's the Beast in the X-Men movies, at least First Class, up through Days of Future Past and all of them. And he's done a good Beast, it's kind of really weird to see him play Batman. I don't know if like that role would fit him. You know, like that's the thing about like characters. Batman is somebody who like, I don't want an actor playing Batman. I want to see Batman on screen, and I want that actor to become that character. Like Hugh Jackman, I think, did a fantastic job becoming Wolverine. It's, you know, you can almost like now see him in other movies and kind of go, oh, it's Wolverine, but you can kind of like say, no, that's Hugh Jackman. The X-Men movies, yeah, that's Wolverine. But the other person who is in the running, of course, is Aaron Taylor Johnson. And he played Kick-Ass, and he was in Godzilla, and he was in Avengers Age of Ultron as Quicksilver. And he looks the part too. He could pull it off as well. It'll be kind of weird to say like Kick-Ass, you know, the Kick-Ass is Batman. It's weird because what Nicolas Cage was basically Batman in that movie. But I would say the same thing for Nicholas Hoult. That's probably why Robert Pattinson is the person who is set to play him, because he can probably pull it off. He can probably pull off a good playboy billionaire Bruce Wayne. And I guess, you know, I've never seen the Twilight movies. It's a guilty pleasure for my wife. But for me, not my thing. Not my thing at all. And to me, vampires should be like the Hammer films, or Bela Lugosi Dracula, or Castlevania. That's what Dracula, in my opinion, should be. He should be kind of scary, not like vampires shouldn't be like sparkling. But that wasn't his fault. He was playing a part. He's an actor. He could probably act really well, and if he was really young at the time and not really doing really well, after that point, I mean, I don't know. I have not seen him in movies after this point. So I'm hoping that he is good if he is the person who is chosen. But now it comes down to the villains. The two villains that they're saying will be Catwoman and Penguin. And, you know, Penguin, they have not, like, Danny DeVito did a good Tim Burton vision of the Penguin. But I would like to see a legit, like, comic book accurate Penguin, and I would love to see a legit Catwoman, you know, not like, Selena Kyle in The Dark Knight Rises didn't really feel like Catwoman to me. And Michelle Pfeiffer was over the top. Again, it was a Tim Burton's vision of Catwoman. And don't get me wrong, I love their interpretations. I want a more comic book accurate version of the character. And I don't know if they're going to go with like the whole New 52, or what is it? Rebirth, I think, is the new current reboot. But I'm actually more a fan of, like a little bit older school comics. I'd like to see a little bit more of that. Personally, I'd like to see Penguin and the Riddler, and let those two villains, because if you think about it, if you're just doing the Joker over and over again, you're just trying to hit the same points. And you guys already know, I was not a fan of the Joker trailer. It just didn't resonate well with me. I felt that the actor who's playing him, Joaquin Phoenix, is a little too old to play the part. And it's nothing against his acting creds. He's a great actor for a lot of people, but if the character himself, if I can't see him past the character, it's kind of hard. And that's kind of how I feel. And I think that what I would really like to see is them do whatever characters they choose justice. And from what they're saying is that they want this to show Batman's detective skills. We have not seen that on film, really that well when it comes down to Batman as a character. After all, DC is Detective Comics. Batman Detective Comics, that's his longest running, series as far as the comic books are concerned. So yeah, I want to see Batman as a detective. I want to see comic book accurate villains. I want to see comic book accurate villains for all of Batman's, rogues gallery. And I'd like to see that with the entire DCEU. I'd like them to take the entirety of the DC universe and try to bring the comic books to life on screen. That's something that the MCU did and started and did really well for a while. And some people are like I myself, I'm kind of like, all right, maybe after Endgame, this is kind of like the end and they're doing their own thing. But with DC, they need something to really inject life into the movies so that the comic books, you know, are treated well. That's the thing. The comic books are the source material. I am a big advocate of source material and trying to stay true to source material. You always know Hollywood always screws things up when it comes down to movies. You read a really good book, and then you go and see the movie, and it's like everything is changed, everything is different, and you're just like they screwed with the source material, you know. And it's like, well, that wouldn't have worked on screen. If you write the screenplay correctly, it would have. And I would say the same thing about comic books. I want to see a really good story told, and I want to, you know, I want to feel like these, you know, that these movies are, you know, good representations of the comic books. You can almost go back and read the comic books, you know, go back to the comic books and say, yeah, that's the story. That's the story that I want to read. Like you see the movie, and now I want to get into the comics. That's what these movies should be doing for when it comes down to these characters, and not treating like comic book stories like, you know, like they don't mean anything anymore. It's sad because it's kind of hard to find a good comic book story nowadays. And I know I'm rambling, but, you know, I'm hoping that this movie is good, and I'm hoping that the DCEU can recover after, I know a lot of people really didn't like Batman v Superman and Justice League. And I want to see them move forward really well. But I want to know what you think. You know, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about all this Batman news. And I've got more videos coming soon, so stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, until next time, till all are one.